Hello everybody, my name is Torin. I'm one of the physical therapists here at the Rescue Clinic, and as part of our My Sore Spot blog series following our Lincoln Marathon Expo, where we asked runners to tell us where they hurt and where they have sore spots, and give us some opportunity to give you some information on why we think people hurt in certain areas. I want to talk today about left ankle. We had a lot of runners tell us that left ankle pain was one of the things that that really bothered them. And anytime we hear people say either right or left, we have a little bit of a mindset behind that. And as you've heard from some of Lori's blogs previously discussing kind of our bias towards human function, we know that our right side and our left side is different. So when I hear a left ankle versus a right ankle, I have different thought processes of why I think people may hurt. The first thing we would think about with ankle obviously would be what kind of footwear are we using, and there's lots of good information on our website. And Laura's done some good blogs describing what we look for in shoes and why we look for shoes in a certain way and what we would want you to see in a shoe. However, if that's all we talked about, we would probably miss the boat a little bit, because there's more going on than just footwear when we talk about how your feet and ankle are working. To review, if we go back to what our bias is towards human functions, we feel strongly there's an asymmetrical body that we own and use based on the way that we're built and wired and function, that biases have predisposed us to want to have a right stance position. Lori did a good job describing in her blog what that does at the pelvis. That as we tend to want to shift and center ourselves to the right side, that our pelvis wants to get oriented to the right. The left side wants to go forward, the right side wants to go back, and our bodies tend to get stuck in that position. I tell people it's like driving a car with an alignment problem that's driving you in the ditch all the time, and you have to work hard not to go in the ditch. For ankle issues, we're not thinking so much about pelvis, however we are, in the fact that if we can't get our pelvis to orient to the left, it's hard to get your center of gravity over your left foot. So if my center of gravity stays centered over my right foot, the muscles and tendons of my right ankle have good balance between the inner muscles and the outer muscles to create stability in that ankle. If you don't have your center of gravity directly over your foot, either the inner muscles or the outer muscles of that ankle are going to have to work harder to compensate, especially as you pound over a course of a marathon or a long run. People who don't do lots of long distance running typically tend to hurt their right ankles a lot more, because we tend to put more weight and pressure on that, and the left ankle is just kind of along. Those of you and those of us that like to run a lot and put on a lot of mileage and we're really pounding, if our body stays centered over that right leg more easily than the left, with all that repetitive pounding on the left ankle, there becomes a lot more tendency towards overuse activities for the left ankle tendons. So we can talk about the inner tendons getting stretched and overused because of a certain mechanical disadvantage, or the outer muscles having to work too hard. So I just wanted to stand up on the table and show you kind of what that looks like. And I don't know if you can see my ankle well, but if I were to center my body weight over my right ankle, my left ankle, my left leg would have to kind of turn in. And if I at that point, if I kept my weight here and picked my right foot up, my left ankle is in a state of more pronation, or a flat-footed kind of a position. So if my body weight is staying more to the right than its ability to get over directly my left foot, there's going to be some challenge of my left leg mechanically in order to stabilize and propel myself forward for that next step. So if somebody's describing either an inner ankle or an outer ankle problem, what I want to make sure that they can do with good footwear is get their center of gravity, or their body, over that ankle, and have appropriate use of their core activity through your hip and your hamstring and your quad and your inner thigh and your abs on that left side, so that when I stand and land on that left leg, my center of gravity stays over that foot to give my ankle the best advantage that I possibly can. So a lot of our ankle problems aren't really ankle problems. They're coming from a body that's unable to go right and left the same. So if you're having ankle problems, even if you're having knee problems, which I think we'll talk about in a later blog, and you've got good footwear and you've got good strength, it might be more of an ability of your body to move freely from side to side, particularly as you get fatigued over a long distance run, that's giving you a problem. So if you're still struggling with specific ankle problems, and you've got good shoes, you've got good footwear, maybe even some orthotics, it may be time to look up further up. What in your body is not letting it get over your left leg? Could be your pelvis, could be your neck, could be maybe some tightness in your chest wall on this right side. We got to look at what might be causing your body to not be able to get over your left side that's causing your ankle problems. So just for an overall statement, ankle problems aren't always ankle problems. It's that whole body's got to work together. So If you have questions, get a hold of us. There'll be more information on our website. You can email me directly if you want to at our website or whatever you can find. Otherwise, enjoy your running. Have a happy spring, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks.